千里之行，始于足下。A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together. Welcome to Tao Talks with Eric Lin, where we take a deep dive into the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. I would like to extend a warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. I would like to invite you to center your thoughts and direct your attention to this moment in time, to the here and now, to be fully present and mindfully aware as we all ready ourselves for this sacred process in the Tao with one another. So the title of this slide is The Public, and with a two-way arrow, Tao Cultivators. And this is because I want to bring some comparison and thoughts about the two. In this world where we all live, there are clear patterns that can be seen by anyone who takes the time to observe them. What I mean by the public is the general public, or most people who are not really aware of the Tao or the meaning of the Tao teachings. And what I mean by the cultivators, it just includes everyone who studies and understands the Tao. The sages, their students, all of us in this gathering. So on the left-hand side, I want to present the 3 to know. This would be the yang. We talked about know the yang, but hold to the yin or embrace the yin. So the yin will be on the right-hand side, and that is the 3 to hold. Hold to the Yin principle. And now we have the 2 columns that we can fill in with the specifics that Lao Tzu has talked about. And let me also note that I bring up the general public or most people because the 3 things to know happen to be what most people prefer most of the time. They do not hold to the Yin principle, they hold to the Yang principle. So, as an example, male representing the Yang principle. It is the active and dynamic side of life. People tend to have too much of it. People tend to rush around and push ahead, oftentimes becoming loud and aggressive in the process. I think all of us have seen that from time to time. These are the people who are unaware of the Tao and therefore also unaware that the frantic rush is not the best way to do anything. Living in this world, we often hear expressions like, come on, let's go, or full speed ahead, or questions like, are we there yet? These all express aspects of this mentality. When it comes to the overcoming of obstacles, the same mentality frames it as a breakthrough. That is a very yang expression. So in this way, life becomes more about aggression. which we can see in the friction among people just in daily life. We know the friction can sometimes flare up into confrontations as people clash. And it can also be more about pursuit, speed. People put the emphasis on pursuing goals, and these goals are often material in nature. They are not necessarily pursuing intangibles like greater understanding or personal transformation. So for Tao cultivators, these are not the things that they hold to. Quite the opposite. Hold to the female is what Lao Tzu says. Now, the same part of the message says know the male, which means Tao cultivators understand the sense of urgency, the sense of mission. It's just that they do not let that understanding become a stress factor. They know stressed out human beings are never at their best. So Tao cultivators hold to a measured approach to life. Observe and understand before taking action. That is the thoughtful approach. It is what it means to hold to the yin or hold to the female. Next, we have the white. So the public, most people, those who don't understand the Tao, this is what they hold to. People often focus on their image, the image they project, the facade they maintain, the surface level appearance. It is shallow, but that is how many people are. They want to be highly visible, they want to be seen, draw attention, be noticed. So that is what Tao cultivators know, but not what they hold to. That's the important distinction. Tao cultivators hold to the black. So they are like water. As Lao Tzu says in Tao Te Ching chapter 8, water stays in places people dislike. And that's because water flows to the lowest point in any area. Water never assumes the highest profile. So the black, holding to the black just means Tao cultivators hold to the less visible aspects, the support, the work that goes on behind the scenes. That's the resource, that's the foundation. Next, we have honor. This is what most people prefer. This is what people like and value. People want the height of honor, external praise, recognition, approval, and external validation. Now, as Tao cultivators, we know what all of that means. We know people gravitate to and even hunger for that validation or recognition, being placed in the spotlight or being placed on the pedestal. In fact, I would say that for many people, they want the spotlight and the pedestal so much that if there's no spotlight or pedestal around, they will bring their own. That is not what we hold to. We hold to the Yin principle, representing here as humility. So this is holding on to the depth of humility rather than the height of honor. This is because the sense of worth, the sense of self-worth, comes from an internal source. It is not dependent on other people. This is also because humility comes from a place of being self-sufficient. This is where you know you become understanding and identified with the mindset that being anonymous is not detrimental. It can be liberating. It's the ability to blend in to the background and not be frequently stopped by people who recognize who you are. So this right here is the summary of holding on to the Yin principle while knowing the Yang principle. The Yang to the left, the Yin to the right. Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.